Hello and welcome to the Local Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Johnson. The Local Leaders Podcast provides a platform for successful business owners to share their stories, their experiences, their advice, and their ideas in order to help our listeners achieve more success in their business and in their lives. Get ready, another great show is coming up. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff Johnson with the Local Leaders Podcast, and I am super excited today to have the sisters with me. The first set of sisters we've had, Kelly and Morgan Walsh of Cupids Hot Dogs. Welcome, you guys, and thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited to hear about the story. You guys have a history, and I can't wait to hear it and share it with our listeners. And after that, then we'll dig into some of the unique challenges and problems and things that you've run into across your time in business, and see if we can get some new ideas and strategies of ways that you resolved or overcame them, or either went around those, as sometimes we have to do. But please, I don't know which one of you want to start, but we'd love to hear the story of Cupids.
Go ahead.
Yeah, our grandparents started Cupids in 1946. It's a little hot dog stand, super simple menu. So we've been around 75 years now. Our grandparents ran it for a long time, and then our father took over, and then he passed away maybe 12 years ago. And so then we've been running the store ever since.
Wow. Well, so you grew up in the business, I guess, right?
Yeah, we both kind of had our high school jobs there, and like our little jobs in elementary school when our dad would cater the school festivals or just other big events. And, we would just be the soda girl or just like little jobs helping on the catering end.
Yeah. And so you guys have had it now for the last, 12 years, you said?
Yeah.
Tell me this, our listeners love to, that all restaurants have challenges, and it's pretty much a daily thing, right?
Power went out this morning.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Back on.
Well, let me ask you, like, if you go back 12 years to when y'all took over, was it harder than you thought it would be running the business? And if so, kind of how?
I think it just changes with what the current problem is or situation. Like she said today, the power went out, and that happens kind of often, depending on the weather. So it's just getting through that, saving the food. Are we going to open? Are we going to close?
I feel like we've learned to just sort of expect the unexpected, and that like every day there's some new catastrophe, and to not let it affect you too much, because that's just what it is and what's going to be. You just kind of have to know to expect disastrous things to happen regularly, and you just got to roll with it and figure it out. Call your sister and see what you're going to do.
If we lose a vital vendor, how are we going to replace them? We've had the same product for 75 years. So keeping the hot dogs, the chili, the buns, the mustard, the onions, like the exact same. And if we lose a vendor, a key vendor, getting that replaced quickly. It's not like we have another, we're out of hot dogs today, we're going to sell pizza. Like, we're just hot dogs. So the problem has to get solved very quickly.
Yeah.
So you got a simple menu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It hasn't changed slightly over 75 years, but for the most part, it's still our Cupid dog with mustard, onions, and chili, chips, and a soda.
That is, you got the glass sodas too from the old days, the glass Cokes.
We do the Mexican Cokes, and then we just have fountain sodas.
Although just today, one of our vendors called and was like, there's a problem in the supply chain. We can't get bottled Cokes anymore. So bottled Cokes are out for the moment.
Oh my gosh, there's always something. And that brings me around to the industry as a whole. All the owners I talked to, there's current day, there's several challenges. Of course, we've got the COVID stuff, which we'll come back to maybe in a minute. But the other two things I hear about are food shortages and food prices, being a big challenge, and staffing. So I just wanted to ask you.
That's affecting us the most through COVID, or what you just said, those issues.
Yeah, right now we're definitely very understaffed and just can't.
Meat prices are very high.
Meat prices are high. Not getting a lot of people coming in to apply for jobs, and so that's definitely our current battle.
Yeah, I was walking around in my small town today, heading up for lunch, and I was just noticing in the windows, it's almost like every other business has a help wanted sign up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it was just amazing to me to see that. I mean, I knew it was a problem. I know it's a problem. I've been having similar challenges in my business. How do we get past it? I mean, what are you guys doing? Are y'all cutting hours? Are you cutting days or?
She works a lot in the store.
I'm just there all the time now. Basically, that's the current solution.
We already work on a pretty small staff as it is. So we can't really cut like the hours unless we just change our open hours entirely or how many days we're open. So we're just hoping we find someone or a few people actually that we can hire.
I think too, we've been trying to be really good to the employees that we do have. So we've been giving out bonuses like whenever we can. So we try to like, not necessarily give raises because we don't know what next month is going to be like, but if we have extra money, we give bonuses that the people that are there, that are working hard, want to stay.
Yeah.
And know that we, appreciate them because we definitely couldn't do it without them.
Well, I'm sure they're appreciative of that. And the staff that you do have they been around a while or?
Definitely a good handful of years.
Yeah. That's always nice when you get people to stay. And
we got a good group of guys in our Winnetka location. They may have started their late high school, but they just kind of stay through college. It's just like an easy job while you're in school, flexible hours. They all kind of work around each other. So it's good. It works out for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys 7 days a week or you?
Yep, 7 days a week.
7 days.
That's a tough one. With a small group of people, it's tough.
Yeah, when there's usually 5 people working, and then now if anyone gets sick at all, they got to take it off, and so it's just hard to fill those hours. Yeah.
Well, how did you guys handle COVID and get through that? Were you a big takeout place, restaurant to begin with, or? I
mean, yeah, that part didn't change too much. I mean, because hot dogs easy to go. One of our Winnetka location is outdoor dining anyway. Simi Valley has indoor, so that just kind of opened and closed as we were allowed to, but you can wrap a hot dog to go. So it's not like we're serving steaks or lobster where it's a little more challenging.
I mean, we just like kept getting creative. Like I remember when COVID first hit and first we were panicked like everyone else. We were like, we're going to have to close. And then a friend of mine was like, can I buy $100 worth of hot dogs and you go deliver it to somebody who can't get to the grocery store right now when like the grocery stores are really crazy. And I was like, oh, this is a great idea. So we started promoting that for people who were still working, who wanted to buy food from us and then
support us and support other people that necessarily they didn't want $100 of hot dogs themselves. Right. They wanted to help someone else.
So we'd go deliver them to like elderly communities, like places where people just like couldn't leave their houses. And so it was great. People were able to do something to help. It helped us. And then we were able to like help other people. And then we started doing car hop, which was us bringing out food on our roller skates, which is what we're doing later today.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
And that was really great because people didn't have to leave their car. So it was super COVID safe, but it was something fun to do and really nostalgic for people, which I think is what everybody kind of really needed during this time. And so that was a huge hit for us.
Yeah, I bet it was. It makes it an experience, that they.
Yeah, it's something new for us to do. We get to have activity.
Yeah, break up the monotony of the standing behind the counter all day.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Now we just skate out the back door and
work on our tan.
It's a good thing you guys are young and able to do it. I'm going to tell you that. Well, that's fantastic, and it sounds like y'all have done pretty well through the whole COVID piece. And most of the restaurants we speak to were able to change
and adapt and just figure out what the new rules are or how people are, our customers and what works for everyone. So a lot of changing.
Yeah. And I think too, just like not panicking when there's a bad day. I know.
We do.
We do. When I'm in the store and I'm working, it's slow. I go, that's it. 75 years, we're done. One slow night.
Oh, no. I had a couple of great conversations about that specifically because I have an issue with looking at my day and my question is usually evolves around how do you measure success of the business? Are y'all looking at sales? Are you looking at margins? Are you looking at profits? What do you care about? But that led to, and I'll come back to that, but that led to several people telling me, if you run a restaurant, you got to get away from worrying about the day to day. Because if you watch everyday sales and get frustrated by it, it'll just drive you crazy. Yeah, and there's usually one in the bunch that does, and several people said, you obviously got to watch it day to day, but and week to week and month to month, but really, if you want to look at success over time, you look at your quarters. And you try to live with that mentality, even though you're watching it close. But how do you guys, well, you're the day-to-day watcher. What are you looking at? Sales?
I mean, I definitely look at sales every day, and like our store here, like varies a lot on weather as well. So there's a lot of like factors like, all right, it was 115 degrees outside. It's going to be a slow day. No one wants to stand outside. So,
yeah.
But as long as we can pay our bills and we're having fun, and, we've been in business 75 years. So we have, that history behind us. If there's a slow month, like we know it'll come back. We just try to keep our product, high quality, and keeping our customers happy, and keeping, she's in charge of our social media, getting our new, customers coming in. So as long as we're getting new people, we're doing a good job.
And when we have, even before COVID started, one of our locations was just had like a really rough year. Really rough. And we were like, we might have to close. And so we said, you know what, let's just reach out to the community. So we posted on Facebook and said, hey guys, we're really struggling. This store's been open, 30 something years.
This was January. So like right before COVID hit, 3 months before.
And we said, we'd love to stay. Like, if you guys want us here, we'd love to have you come in for lunch. And we were flooded. Like open to close, line out the door for like a month
So we're reassured that people still like hot dogs.
Yeah, but just being honest with where we're at and reaching out to the community, and really like utilizing social media, the best ways that we can.
Well, I noticed that, if I remember right, and I look at a lot of Facebook pages specifically, and I didn't check Instagram, but I think I saw over 5,000 followers on Facebook for you guys. Does that sound right?
Yeah, Instagram, I think we have 23,000 around there.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, Instagram.
Facebook, I feel, is more like local people, or like people that were customers that used to live here, but like they just have already like a connection to Cupids, not necessarily always new people. Instagram is more so like
more new a lot people. More with like the roller skating that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And we had
trends,
a few like viral videos on TikTok. And so we got a lot of kind of like new followers and customers from that, which was great.
Yeah, and I neglected to mention you guys were in California. So for those that are listening, if you're in and around California and
San Fernando Valley area, so LA area, but
yeah. Well, so you're close to my daughter. My daughter's over there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to ask her if she's been by yet, and if not, get her and her friends moving in that direction.
Yeah, tell her to come over.
But I didn't know it was so hot, 115 degrees.
Oh, that's definitely a bad day.
Today's probably 95.
Yeah, and we'll be out there on the pavement roller skating.
Yeah, a lot of sunscreen.
Big floppy hat.
Yes, you will. And it's right after lunch right now, right? You didn't skate for lunch?
No, we do it like early evening to the evening.
3 to 7.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You don't want to kill yourself all in one day, right?
Exactly.
No, yeah. That's why it's once a week.
Yeah.
Well, that's really creative, and probably get the juices flowing for some of our listeners who are stuck in that. So many businesses and restaurants in particular are just stuck in the norm. They're in their little box or whatever.
I feel like we were like that in the beginning, because when we took over, we were 60 years in, 65 in business. So it was just like, all right, this is what we've done for 60 plus years. We're just going to keep doing exactly this. Our customers are used to this. Like, we were scared to really change anything.
Do you still feel that way? Are you still
as
trying
far
to
as
stick?
Food, we've changed, like we've added a few things to the menu, but as far as food, we try to keep it as true to how it was.
I think we learned that it's like, we have to not change too much, but we just have to maintain our brand. And as long as the brand is the same, we can add some things as long as it fits in with that. And so that's where roller skating, it's like, okay, this is a new thing.
But it's an old thing.
But it's an old thing. And so
Right.
it fits in with the nostalgia and what people remember from the time from when they used to come to Cupid. So it doesn't feel like we're changing something, even though
So
we
it's good for our customers that have been coming for years, or, generations. And then, the younger crowds that are just coming because it's, the new in thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a fun brand, and when you got that 75-year history, it's often difficult to overcome that. It's like, being a stodgy old person over here, you're an old business. So I love what you guys are doing and trying to mix it up a little bit, not necessarily on the food side, but with the experience that you're providing and the fun that you're delivering for your customers. So that's really cool. So we talked about challenges a little bit. We talked a little bit, well, we talked about the metrics and kind of how you view success. Leadership. So there's two of you guys, your sisters and your family. So that brings a whole new dynamic to the table. For so many people out there that are in a similar situation. So how do you guys cope with working together and get out of each other's way and manage to coexist and run this business?
I mean, we have like pretty separate job duties. I do a lot of like the bookkeeping and just office work, dealing with the vendors, the money and that stuff. She's more in the stores, social media, the employees, marketing. So if it's an issue in one of those categories, whoever's dealing with it, we talk to each other, but it's kind of like, all right, that's your thing. You can make the final call. I mean, I wouldn't say like we don't really fight about anything. It might be like, I want the t-shirt that we're designing to be blue. I want it to be black. Like, that's kind of like it. It's really, we're each good at our own thing and we respect that about each other and let that person make decisions on, what that is.
And it's nice having another person because there's times we're problem solving and neither of us really know what the solution is. So to have another person to kind of bounce ideas off of and figure it out together, it's definitely, I mean, I couldn't do it without you. There's no way.
Yeah, well, it definitely helps. And if you need to get away for a day to regain your sanity or something, it's nice to have someone to fall back on that can handle both ends if need be.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like, all right, I'm going out of town, just make sure you're here. And, it's not like we go out of town very often, but.
Or I don't feel like making this phone call, you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't deal with that guy, that vendor. I don't want to talk to him today.
I do think it made it easier that we didn't start the business. So kind of the framework was already set up. And so I think if we were starting something new, maybe we would have more problems because we'd be more attached to, I want this to be my idea or my thing. And just like, no, we're just
following the legacy of our grandparents and like adding our own little like twist to it along the way.
That's awesome. That's terrific that you can continue that brand that's been around for so long. It's again, I can't wait to be in California to check you guys out and have a hot dog with you, a Cupid dog, right?
Yeah.
And that was what, mustard, chili, and onion? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
That's the classic. That's what everybody.
You can add some cheese on it if you're a big cheese person, but yeah, mustard and some chili.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I eat hot dogs once or twice a week, so I'm down.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm
down
down
like
with
a
it.
Chicago dog for people who want a hot dog but not really chili, so they can have more of the veggies on there.
And then we do have a veggie dog now.
The Beyond sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, that's different.
Yeah, well, so many vegetarians out here, so many people that don't eat meat anymore. So we thought, all right, this is something that we need to add.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that too, because every Californians are so health conscious and that's just, it's a way of living. I know when I go see my daughter, everything we eat is, I come back home and I tell my wife, I'm like, I'm ready for some normal food. Because I've been in California too long, It's different over there than over here.
There's a lot of both. You can definitely get your fair share of healthy and your splurging food as well.
Yeah. Now you guys are not serving alcohol, right?
At our Simi Valley location, we do serve beer.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, that's an indoor dining. So we have the liquor license there.
Which was nice during COVID. They changed it so people could take beer to go, which was nice that we were able to do that.
I'm sure that helped just a little bit. And I think all over the country, most places all over the country went to go. We could even get to go. I call them liquor drinks, but mixed drinks.
Cocktails.
Cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that over here in the great state of North Carolina, but I don't know if that's available everywhere or not. But it just seems.
I do remember seeing people post pictures of margaritas to go.
Yeah.
So I didn't take advantage of that, but yeah, I did see that happening here.
Yeah, you're just not supposed to unseal it while you're.
Yeah, you gotta put a lid on it. We were just having a lot of beer and soda cups going out the door. Yeah,
exactly. But it's fun. It's cool. I'm glad you guys did so well through that hard time that we lost. We lost a lot of businesses and a lot of people suffered and had a hard time. But then other restaurants specifically, a lot did better. They were able to change, to make be as I guess their agility was quicker and better than many others, and they were able to take advantage of jumping into the curbside and
Yeah, I think also just we are a small operation. You know, we have minimal ingredients. We have, you know, like we can run off one employee if we have to cut the hours. So we were just able to make those changes a little easier just because we don't have a lot of food. We don't have a lot of big menu, like a large menu. So
we definitely worked with a lot of other restaurants during that time too. I remember we have like a couple restaurants next to ours at each store, and we contact their owners whenever like we need help with something or can't figure something out. Or during the holidays, we teamed up with like 5 other restaurants, and we all put in gift cards and sold the gift card packages at each of our stores. So it was a way to like all promote each other.
Yep.
That was really successful. That was like, we got to do that again this holiday, actually.
Reminder. And it is August, so you're going to have to get on that project soon.
Yeah, I know. We're going to plan this ahead of time, and then it's like, oh, it's December 1st. We're way late again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. It just got like the full community involved, like the businesses together. And then, you know, if you live in that area, you get to try out other places.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Well, that's awesome that you're able to come together in the community and get help. And just like you reached out to the community, you know, with that in January with the other location that needed a little bit of help, and it sounds like it got it.
Yeah, they came through. So we're grateful.
Yeah. What do you, a lot of people talk about one of the big challenges of owning a restaurant, and we've touched on it already, but is this work-life balance thing. Do y'all feel like y'all have a good balance between work life and home life, or is it kind of off the rails at times?
I mean, for me, I feel like, because I have an office at home, so I like do all my work from home, and I have 2 little kids. So I'm just like constantly in and out when I have time. You know, sometimes like, all right, I'm gonna take the whole day to be with my kids. We're gonna go to Hurricane Harbor or Disneyland, but that's like a scheduled event. But if I'm kind of here, I'm kind of just always, you know, on the email, on my phone. Just I feel like most people that can work from their phone or laptop at home. So it's challenging.
I mean, that's definitely the hard part, I think, of being any business owners. You're never clocked out.
Yeah, you know? There's always something goes wrong. You know, if someone's calling you, you can't just ignore the phone call.
Yeah.
But that's definitely what's been fun about doing car hop. And I mean, we love to skate, so it's nice to be able to just have some fun at work. And I have one of my friends that we hire, so she comes in and skates with us during car hop, so I get to see her. Some of our other friends will just show up and skate with us. It's like, all right, you never like really fully have balance, but how do you just make work a little more fun and enjoyable? You know, and that's, I think, been a big kind of goal of ours this year, to just have fun while we're working.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It sounds like you figured it out. You kind of got some balance even while you're at work. By bringing the fun in.
You have to work, so you might as well make it, you know, if you can make it fun, do what you can.
Yeah, make it as fun as possible. And of course your customers appreciate that as well. And they get to sit there and watch and take bets on, is she gonna fall? Is she gonna make it? You think she can jump that curb? Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen, but I hope nobody's betting on it. But
I'm sure they are.
You know, you never can tell with customers what you're gonna get. So let me just ask you this question, and I don't ask it very often, but have there been any like big snafus or mistakes or things that you did that you wish you hadn't done since y'all have taken over?
Yeah, probably a bunch of them. I mean,
buying an ice cream machine.
Yeah, we bought an ice cream machine. That lasted like 2 months, and we were like, forget this.
too much work trying to prepare it, probably.
Yeah, it's just like, we're here to make hot dogs. We can't like be cleaning an ice cream machine that takes 2 hours.
Right. Keep it simple. I mean, that's the most like recent mistake we've made. I feel like we're making mistakes all the time, but that's just kind of how we figure things out. We do something that doesn't work, we move on and don't get too hung up on it and just keep rolling.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Hey, do you think you guys, and I'm sure your customers and fan base out there would love to know, but do you see you guys expanding your restaurants, your 2 that you have today? Do you see going further with that, or going to other locations? Or
I don't really think so.
Yeah, I think that's a conversation we're having all the time, because we have a lot of interest of, you know, people out of state who want to open one. But I think, I don't know, at the moment, I think we're feeling a little like what makes our stores work is us and us being there and it being a family-owned business. And so we don't want to,
like, we personally aren't going to open one somewhere else, because neither of us really want to be flying back and forth. And like
keep it
we're
small.
here. So
Yeah. So, I don't know. We're always playing around with ideas, but I think, we like what we're doing and we kind of want to stick with it.
Yeah. So Morgan, are you running back and forth between the two locations at all, or?
Yeah, I work at both. I mostly work at our Simi Valley location, but it just kind of depends on where we're needed and where we're
Employee-wise.
understaffed and like what's going on. So I'm just kind of bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah, like a pinball.
Yeah, but I like it. I like being in the stores. I like talking to customers. I like going in and making hot. I like getting that busy rush and knocking out dogs.
adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
getting through the line,
Not having to pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. You got your sister for that.
Yeah,
Make
exactly.
sure that the vendors are paid and the food keeps coming in when it's supposed to, and the lights stay on and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
my job.
Hey, have y'all had any help? And by help, I mean, like, if you had mentors, and I'm sure your parents or your grandparents, probably were too, but since you took over ownership, have y'all had any mentors or any outside people that have really influenced you or helped you
I
along?
think it's like both of our restaurants, there's another restaurant nearby, woman owned, and we talk to both of those owners often. It's just, how are you doing, like, with what's going on, or do you have an electrician I can borrow? So we kind of just work with other business owners around us.
Yeah, we talk to people all the time. I mean, and even so, we never met our grandparents. They died before we were born, and then we worked in the stores a bit growing up. But our dad really never showed us like business.
It wasn't the plan. It wasn't like, all right, I own it now, you guys are going to take it over. So there wasn't he didn't prep us for it.
Yeah.
So like when we took over, we worked with our accountant and attorneys just to kind of figure out that end of it. But as far as like the day-to-day stuff, we have a pretty close relationship with our vendors. So, we just talk to them and then other business owners that are going through the same challenges.
Yeah, we're always picking people's brains or going on meetings with somebody who owns something. And it's just like, all right, tell us what you know. Like, what else, we know we don't know everything. So
Right. Well, and
always open for information.
Yeah, and no one does. And, some business owners aren't as open about going and asking for help and talking to other people or initiating those conversations. But, we always encourage all our listeners to do that because there's no greater advice than from another business owner.
I mean, it's a lot better than going to Google.
Yeah.
I'd rather pick up the phone and call, the restaurant next door and be like, are you having the same problem? Or, can you refer me to someone?
And everyone's always really willing to share and help. And I think we've always taken the perspective of never seeing other restaurants as competition. It's just like we can all do well and we can all succeed. And we do what we can to promote other businesses as well, because we know we get help from other people. So we're always shouting out other restaurants on our social media and whatever way we can help. We have a little bit of a following and a platform. So how do we utilize that to support the other businesses around us? Because if everybody's doing well, then everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone's gonna eat hot dogs every single day. So
Right.
Right. You got to mix it up a little bit as a customer,
yeah,
right?
a little bit.
Every other day, yeah, come on back. But,
Yeah.
You get somebody eating there 5 days a week, then something's going on.
Right.
Well, that's great to hear, and I think great advice for all of our listeners and fellow business owners is to seek out the help that you need, even if you don't think you need it. It's always good to hear it, which is what we're all about with our show, is talking to successful people like yourselves and getting your input and your on what's going on in the industry and your restaurant specifically. So there's always, unique content and sometimes you just need a little inspiration, and it's nice to hear a success story, especially those times when things aren't quite where you want them to be.
Yeah.
And in the restaurant business, that happens, right?
Yeah.
Well, or just like with any business. So let me ask y'all about words of wisdom, I guess, is so to say. And as we kind of get closer to closing or wrapping up, if we do have and expect to have a large number of listeners who are considering opening a business, but maybe haven't done it yet or have just started, what one or two things, and I'd love to hear from each of you, would you advise them to do or not do?
I mean, I think a couple of things that we had just touched on. So one, like, reach out to the people around you, ask everybody for help,
Yeah.
then take all the, you don't have to take all of it, but listen to all the advice you can give.
They might tell you something you never even thought of. So it's just, open
Right.
your mind to different things and different points of view.
Yeah, don't be scared to ask for help. Nobody really knows what they're doing, so it's okay. And then also kind of what we touched on earlier, that like there's going to be a million fails and things you do wrong, and then things swing back up. So you kind of can't get too lost in the downswing, and just trust, you just keep moving forward, keep trying new things, and
Just make sure it's something that you're, interested in, and you want to keep pushing through the good times to enjoy, or through the bad times to get to the good. So you got to enjoy whatever field you're going into or opening.
Yeah, I think that's key. And so many people have, struggled to figure out what that is. And, even for you guys, how do you land on hot dogs?
I mean, I would say like, I love selling hot dogs, but like, I love that we have like 75 years of customers, and, I do all the shipping orders. So, weekly I talk to people who have moved all over the country, and, they're just so happy that they can order their hot dogs to now eat, wherever they're living now. And it brings back a piece of those memories from, whatever time period they were here. So just being able to provide that for people is, what we enjoy.
Yeah, not necessarily that it wouldn't have had to have been a weenie. It could have been anything, but the business itself.
Yeah.
And that I think was a big struggle for us in the beginning, because we weren't big hot dog fans going in. And so it was hard of like, this is what we're doing now. We're selling hot dogs.
Hooray, we made it. We're in the hot dog business.
We ate so many when we were little. Like, we don't really want to do this. But it's more just like, connecting with the customers. And,
Yeah. And that is where the fun is, and it's a hospitality business. So and it sounds like from everything I've heard, you guys are delivering, not only value to your customers, but great experiences and great opportunities to kind of go back in time and pick up on the nostalgia piece, and that's exactly what I do. We have a place up here in North Carolina that's got a similar business model to yours. And it was at my college that I went to, right across from the business school. And so I ate there 2 or 3 times a week or more, because hot dogs were inexpensive and I was a college student, right? And they're still open. They're, I think, 115 years now or something like that.
Wow. Man, they got us beat.
Yeah, same spot. So you got a little ways to go, but
we have a few more years to catch up.
Yeah, they're but anyway, long story short, I just love going there. It just brings me back to the days of college, and you can sit and enjoy the great hot dog, great food, and watch people go by, and I don't know,
we had a customer,
it gives me that feeling.
She celebrated her 100th birthday at our store.
Oh wow!
She said she was our first customer in North Hollywood.
Holy smokes.
So she still lives in the area, but her family flew out from all over the country. We had just like a private event for her birthday, and that's where she wanted to spend her 100th birthday.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I assume y'all pop that out on social media, I would hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at Morgan. She's like, I don't miss any of that.
Yeah, we got those folks for sure.
Well, y'all done a really, really nice job, and got a great following, and I'm hopeful that you'll continue another 75 years, and of course you'll have to pass it down to the kids or whoever comes next.
If they want it.
Yeah, we got 2 little ones so far, so we'll see.
Yeah. So you're working in the right direction. Any parting words or anything you wanted to share that I neglected to ask you?
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at Cupids_Hot Dogs. And anyone who's in the area, we're doing car hop every Thursday through the end of the month. And then last Saturdays, we do a car show, which is a lot of fun. We usually have bands that come out and play. So.
And we'll have more events coming. So just keep us, give us on Instagram, and we'll see what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the website is cupidshotdogs.net.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So for all y'all listening, if you're not an Instagram or a Facebook person, then grab them on the website at cupidshotdogs.net.
There's a lot of fun pictures up there as well, so you can just kind of
see the history.
Yeah, I love that. I think I saw it on Facebook and on the website, this about us story kind of thing, and I always like to look back at that and learn about the history of the business and all the success you guys have had over the years. And congratulations on getting where you are. You're doing great. And if you're in California, and what was the area of California
San
again?
Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley. I should remember that. I got it
Yeah.
now. San Fernando Valley.
The Valley.
Please
That's why
go
we're Valley
by.
girls.
Oh yeah, that's the title for this show. Valley
Yeah.
Girls
Valley
making hot
Girls.
dogs. Oh, that's awesome. I might use that. But anyway, thank you guys. We got Kelly and Morgan Walsh here today for Cupids Hot Dogs. Thank you, our listeners, for being here today and listening in. And please share it, our story and their story with everybody you know. And be sure to support Cupids Hot Dogs and give them another great 75 years. Thank you guys so much for coming on and talking today.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
we
us.
appreciate it.
We appreciate you. And for all our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on Local Leaders Podcast. I'm Jeff Johnson, and we'll see you next time.